All right, here it goes again. Let's try this again. Oh, Jesus, computer is gonna. I'm gonna throw this thing out the window. Just rip it right off the cords and just. Oh. I would have done the popping thing for the monster. Great, great, by the way. I would have done it. Only my computer just randomly decided to cut out on me. It's like, hey, 16 seconds in, we just go. The app just decided to cancel out. The recording was not saved. I don't get it. I am not a technology person. Oh my goodness. I know nothing of technology. This is going to be insane. Okay, let's try this again. Part two. Part two of Pacific Rim Uprising, my cinematic review of Uprising. Welcome back to, no. How do I do this again? Welcome to a new video, my friends. I greatly apologize for the last one, for like how abruptly how the last one ended. I was not anticipating it. Like, I'm not very good with technology, as I just said earlier. I am working on trying to build storage for this. Yeah, I'm blowing. Maybe I should close the blinds, you know? Yeah. Let me see how it looks real quick. That's actually kind of better. That's somewhat better, you know? Better lighting, actually. Bring Okay. All right. So, where I left off was like with the all right. So, yeah. I, my last episode, I didn't even get a chance to go through all the things I disliked. I had actually 3 points, right? Yeah. I just finished like the cliche credit one. I had 3 points left before we finally got to the things that actually made me, that I actually enjoyed, that I actually liked about the film. Even though it's a terrible sequel, it's like, god dang. I don't know how you managed that. But, you know, here we are. You know, 5 years after the first film's release, they do this one. It did not do good. All right, let's do this, shall we? All right, to start this to start this episode off, part two of my Pacific Rim cinematic review podcast thing. I messed that one up, didn't I? The training of the training of the younger generation when they believed that the war was over. I'm gonna be honest with you. Gotta find something better for this. I should have just gotten the arm to so I can go. I can be like, I'm getting distracted. I am getting so distracted. So like yeah, the younger generation of the next pilots, basically like that cliche of a story. Like in the sequel, when they got rid of like all the old cast, when they were unable to bring back the old cast, they go in and they bring in like a younger generation. Here, they brought in teenagers. If I remember correctly, I believe like canon in universe, they were literal teenagers, like probably 18 and under or something. I don't remember where I heard it or something, but it's like teenagers, and they're training them to send into battle to fight an enemy that was defeated 10 years ago. That was defeated like 10 years ago, which is like when like the first film took place. So like Uprising takes place about 10 years after the first film, after they closed the breach. What I don't get is like, if you fully believed that you had stopped it, that you had stopped the end of the world, why would you feel the need to train more pilots, to build more giant city sized mechs? Oh no, building sized mechs. Like, and throw in young kids, like kids, into these machines. It's like that. It's just, man, it ain't right. Why would you send in teenagers? I thought we left that world behind. We left that life behind. You know, here we are. Oh, this is a great way to start off the video. Naku. Where no matter what I do, it's gonna look off into the camera. It's gonna look a little crooked. Yeah, no, like mouse was touching my face. But why would you feel the need to send in teenagers? No, that's not what I was gonna say. Oh, hey, get my brain. I need you to work with me. I need you to focus. I'm just gonna look at it. I keep, and of course, as I go to open it, I remember what I was gonna say, like the war. Like they believed that the kaiju were gone for good, that they had stopped it. I think apart from, did I put his name in here or no? Herman Gottlieb, if I remember correctly, his last name Gottlieb. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I don't. Like I said, it's been a while since I've seen this. I don't remember like if he believed that they would return, but I know that like, in the film he was working on prototypes to deliver for like faster ways of sending the Jaegers over to their target location using rocket propelled, using rockets fueled with kaiju blue, the blood of the kaiju. You know, after like discovering that it's highly volatile. Which I feel like it would have discovered in the first film, like it's highly volatile or something. At least Newton would have, because he was one that was dissecting their bodies, their things, to when he to the point where he discovered that like they had identical genes, DNA, everything, that they were clones. All right, scroll back up because I lost my moment. The characters not being the most memorable, and especially the other Jaeger pilots that they had trained, the cadets, especially a lot of the cadets, they are barely memorable. I don't know, like maybe it was just me, but like after I saw it in theaters and like I went and like then I finally saw it again before like recently. I just I don't know, like maybe it's just me, but they weren't exactly the most memorable between the time frame of when I first saw it to when I saw it again recently. Not really much to say about this one, other than they weren't the most memorable pilots, especially the one that that didn't survive the final battle. I barely even remember their names. I just I barely remember their faces. That film was so forgettable. Good thing I jotted down the ideas of what I wanted to say. Otherwise, I'd be feel point after point after point, just jumping back and forth, blah, 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 which is probably what I am doing anyways. All right. This one, removing the scene, basically like a deleted scene that I watched. That wasn't, I watched a deleted scene. It was like a two-part deleted scene. Removing the scene on how Amara specifically built Scrapper using Shao parts. I don't know, like maybe it would have like thrown a little more in depth into her character and like how she was able to achieve Scrapper like so well and how she was able to build it so well and functional. Because when they're going in through when she and the other cadets, like when she convinced the other cadets to sneak into Obsidian Fury's body, like to go in and just like check it out for themselves. In there, she recognized parts, basically, like signature parts from Shao Industries. And this deleted scene would have helped explain that. Would have helped explain how she recognized that. I mean, she was creative inventor, engineer. Like, she built Scrapper herself from the ground up. Which, by the way, fun fact: when filming the the warehouse scene of when Jake first sees Scrapper, to do that, most of Scrapper, at least like maybe 90% of him was CGI, except for a foot. He had his like I think it was like his left foot, if I remember correctly. His left foot that they made practical. His left foot was practical. The rest of him, not so much. Unless they were filming like scenes from the inside of Scrapper. then it was practical, but from the outside in the warehouse before they got in him and trampled through the PPDC, he's mostly CGI. Apart from that one instance. I feel like I wanted to say another thing, but I don't remember. But yeah, like I feel like that definitely would have helped explain a little more about how she knew that Shao Industries technology was used in Obsidian Fury. And that is basically all I have for now about like why I despise it. Maybe I'll have more maybe as maybe I'll think of something spontaneously like later in the video, you know? But we finally I really need to get an arm thing. Finally, we get to go on to my next one. Things I enjoyed, which I actually upon second viewing, there were some things that I actually did like about the film. Even though I still think it's awful, there were like small little snippets here and there that I liked. For example, for the first one, the CGI and the VFX. That was really good. I actually like the CGI. It was like it feels like I could reach out and grab onto one of these Jaegers and kaiju myself. It almost looked practical. It was actually really good. The destruction was just like the, the destruction in the final battle. It was actually really good. I liked it. I had fun with that. And I know there's like probably more to it than like, and just like basically that. Like there's more to it than what I said. I know there's more that goes into it. But I'm not very good at describing things. I'm very terrible at this, so I don't know why you would watch these videos because I'm terrible at describing things. Looks a little off. Aha. The little interaction between Jake and Nate in the kitchen, especially when the sprinkles came in. I like that little banter that they had going back and forth. And like Jake just like basically diffusing the situation with like just going shh, so just pouring the sprinkles, going like and just pouring it into his ice cream. That ice cream looked good. I want a bite of that ice cream. Give it to me. But honestly, that one did make me laugh because Nate goes in and is like, "That's a lot of sprinkles." I think, if I remember correctly, if I think he said that. But I like that. It was a really fun interaction. It was nice. It was good. I had fun. I need you to stay hut, or you're going out the window as well. Lauren Balf's score. Now I know I said in the first video like the score was not even close to being the most memorable, which is really sad and just because if you listen to the soundtrack by itself, separate from the movie, so like you go into YouTube and you just type in Pacific Rim Uprising soundtrack and you listen to all of it, it is good. It is really good on its own. It's really good. It's just during the film you just can't really hear it. It's barely there. It barely leaves an impression. But when you listen to it on its own, so good. I love Warren Mouth. He's an amazing composer. By the way, another film I remembered that he helped compose. He worked a lot with Michael Bay, by the way, as well. Um, 13 Hours, Secret Soldiers of Benghazi, Netflix's Six Underground, and Ambulance, which his score was definitely different from that in there, like in Ambulance. Like he's good. He's a good composer. I highly recommend listening to his music, his scores. He's good. The story concept. I'm not really sure how to describe why I like this, but like the story, like the concept of the story, it's really good. It's nice. Just the execution of it was not. No, like I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed this film. No, fudge. I can't speak. Like the idea of it, the idea of the film is good. They had a good idea going. They just did not do it. They just did not execute it well. I should just move on to the next point because I'm gonna keep repeating this because I don't know how best to like convey like why I like the concept. Other than I probably going through the points, you know. There's not a lot of points on here like to like why I enjoyed it, but you know, it's still there's still some things, you know. The concept and design of Obsidian Fury. Mm, mm. Obsidian Fury was a really cool Jaeger. It was a very nice concept of having of this time around, like not having the kaiju, but like a Jaeger being like one of the villains of the story. A rogue Jaeger. And of course the twist is that it was piloted, that it was mixed in, that it was mixed you can't speak. Brian, we need you to work with me today. Because they found like kaiju kaiju DNA inside the Jaeger. So pilotless Jaeger. It was really cool. I just wish they had gone a little more in depth into it, like how it was designed, like how they came up, how they built this thing. Like, yeah, I wish they had gone to inside the base to explore it. You know, like have a little like exposition dump into like how Obsidian Fury was turned into like the antagonist of the first half of the film. Like how they managed to how Newton managed to combine kaiju DNA with a Jaeger. I wish they had gone a little more into that. That would have been good. That would have been like some good exposition right there. Instead of just like him going like saying like I I sprinkled a little evil over here and a little evil over here while you weren't looking and you were busy with your CEO blah blah blah. You know the concept of it and Obsidian Fury's design is good as well. Like it's a really cool design. They're like and like his chainsaw laser swords. Zing, zing, zing. You know, it was really fun. And I think like he also had like a laser cannon that just went like, you know, there's like to which like Gypsy Avenger blocks it. You know, so they don't get blasted in the face and the pilots are dead. I am not comfortable. I really need an arm thing because this is not comfortable at all. I think that's gonna be my next purchase to helping my YouTube career. Well, I like this one, like, because this one was a little fun. I actually like this little camera movement. There's actually two camera movements I like, but this one, the camera. Okay, I'm just gonna try and explain it the best I can without reading that because that's probably not the best description I had for it. But it's like in the towards like the end of the final battle when Jake and Mara set like the Gypsy Avenger onto a crash course with the Mega Kaiju, and it just went like, you know, before it before it jumps into the volcano to destroy the world. You know, it does that and it explodes like beautiful explosion, sending the Mega Kaiju far back down the back far back down the snowy volcano. So like the camera starts off like with it starts off with like you thinking like because you see like the kaiju head rise up, the Mega Kaiju's head rise up out, revealing like, oh fudge, he's not dead yet. Oh fudge, they just sacrificed Gypsy Avenger. Like it's up, it's roaring. Don't ask. My roars are terrible, but so like it rises up, and so does the camera as well. Like it goes up, like revealing like the kaiju parts just all over the mountain, like the trail of kaiju parts that are just all over the mountain, revealing like, hey, his entire like body from like basically like probably like maybe like right here down like all the way is just completely eviscerated, and all he's got is like his arm as he's like trying to get up and like before he crashes down and just dies. You know, I like that little camera movement of the reveal of like from like being like, oh fudge, he's still alive to like, oh never mind, he's dead. He ain't going anywhere. You know, I like that one. Like it was really cool. It was a fun little neat like fake out. I liked it. It was nice. Hypo just released a new video. Neat. Check that one out later. All right, let's see my next point. Uh, Rajan. Rajan's okay. I'm gonna go like with the design of Rajan first before I go into the camera movement of why I like this, why I like this scene as well. So like Rajan's design is like a heavy armored head, like there's just like almost like a brick wall if you were to punch it with your fist. Not with the fist of the Jaeger, but with like your bare fist, like that. And like that's just only like the almost like a mask, because like it opens up in like four ways, you know, whoop, whoop, to reveal like the inside of the face is like all like pink and fleshy. Yeah, like it can close into like to stop it like from to stop an attack, whether it be like kinetic, physical, or like laser, blah blah blah. I actually liked Rajan's design. It was very cool. It was very unique. The designs of the others as well, like, were unique and cool. But Rajan's, I think I'm pronouncing it wrong, but his, like, I liked him the most, like, because he had a unique concept, which I guess they struggled to figure out how to make it work, but they almost like they were struggling with his design a bit, if I remember correctly. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but you know, I liked it. It was a fun, unique. He was a cool design. The Mega Kaiju as well. The Kaiju's they had a very cool design. Now onto the scene. So yeah, it's like this scene takes place like before these little like spidery like tripod thingy. I don't remember what they were called, but before like this swarm of robotics insectic, this like robotic bugs, like just humming and tearing apart the kaiju's, three kaiju's, and before like does that again, it conforms it together into mega kaiju. So like it takes place before that. So like Gypsy Avenger comes in and attempts to punch it in the face. But as I explained, like the head just got the little mass, like think forming shut. It absorbs the impact and redirects it, giving basically Gypsy Avenger slap in the face, sending Gypsy Avenger flying. But the camera movement of it following like the punch all the way down, like over the body and down the arm as the energy is redirected into Rajan's hand before slapping Gypsy Avenger down the street, almost hitting another Jaeger. I like that. That was actually a very cool, like, fun camera movement going around, like following the redirection of the energy. I like that. It was really cool. I had fun with that. And that would be like the last of the things I enjoyed. Okay. Come on. Son of a biscuit. I'm just gonna probably hold it for now. Yes. I lost comfort in my butt. My butt is in pain. My butt is gonna be going numb. All right. Into the next category of things that I would have done differently. Because I love writing. I love storytelling. It's one of my favorites. It's what's something I want to be good at. It's something I want to be good at. Something I want to share with you all. I love stories. I love writing. I work on fan fiction. I work on my books, which are gonna take forever to do. But yeah. So, where did Jake run? Okay, yes. So the first thing like I would have done differently, according to my notes. So like like when so like basically back when like don't fall. So like back like when Mako's death, like the helicopter crashes down the street after Jake and Nate failed to catch it. And then like the Gypsy Avenger just face plants on the ground on the pavement on the street. Going and then Jake runs out, like he jumps out of the Jaeger and starts running to his sister as the camera pulls up and then fades out and transitions into the next scene. So I would have probably like added more to that. So like I wouldn't have stopped it as like him running towards the crash site. I would have like had the camera like follow him, be like facing it like towards his face, like as he's like running, yelling out Mako, running, or something like that. I would have added a little bit more to it. If I would have added like a few seconds of that before I would have before Nate comes out from behind him and tackles him to the ground, like trying to prevent him from running inside the burning helicopter, from like running inside. It would have had like a little slow mo of it, I think, like little camera slow mo of him like trying to push Nate back and trying to crawl towards the crash site. A little close up face of that. And I was thinking of also like what if like you would add like a blurring effect around his face. You know, like a little blurriness of like to show like his distraught, his anger, his heartbreak, his sadness. Before like before like the blurriness consumes the whole scene. And then you fade out, you know? What do you think? Like, would that have been better? Would that have been like I feel like it would show more about his emotions, you know? I feel like I would show more. Okay, so yeah, removed. The next point is remove the kaiju brain Newton date scene. That's how I wrote it. Like they like almost like a date night. Because as I expressed in the first video, that scene weirded me out. That was just weird and like predictable, and like it just made it more obvious that like, hey, he's gonna be the twist villain. I like. I mean, as I said before in the previous video, I like. I'm not the biggest fan of deleted scenes because like they remove important context. You know, they remove a lot of it. I mean, yeah, I can understand why they do it. So like, I understand why others directors like do it. Like, why studios, some studios want it done. It's like I can understand like why the director Stephen D. Knight wanted to like tried to fight to remove this scene because this just gave away so much. It just gave away. I would have, and I love Guillermo del Toro. Like he's good. He is a great director. Very great at what he does, especially like when he does like monster stuff, monster related stuff. He's good at that. Because this film, because the first Pacific Rim film was like a love letter to this stuff. But yeah, I would have removed that scene because I just I don't know how else I can express that I dislike it. Okay, so this one would have been like this one's an obvious one that like a lot of people can agree. I would never have let go of Guillermo del Toro. Never have let go of him. Even after they swapped studios, like going from Warner Bros., which I lost faith in. I lost faith in Warner Bros. A long time ago. Like they went from Warner Bros. To Universal. Legendary was still attached to the project, so like I was happy there. But they swapped it from Warner Bros. To Universal, and in the process of doing so, they let Guillermo del Toro go, even though like he had an idea of what he wanted to do for a sequel, which I read about like an article a while ago. And, like his plan like involved like the precursors being basically like humans, but from the future, where they destroyed their planet, where they destroyed and consumed all the resources of their planet, of our planet. So like they would go back in time to try and terraform it to take over this world, take over our timeline. If I remember correctly, that was like his original plan or something. Like he was gonna have that reveal, and we should never have let him go. Like, he was amazing. He knew what he was doing in the first one. Like he knew how to capture the movement, the weight, the action, the pacing. Like he knew how to do it, and he put together like one of the best kaiju mech films of all time. The pacing was amazing. All right, we're reaching up on the 40 minutes mark of this video. I put in like hopefully like something I'm hoping that would add in some new storage, more storage. I attached it, so hopefully maybe it'll kick in. Hopefully, but we'll see. I may end up having to split this into a third video as well. Okay, this is a big one. This one's like a long one. Actually, no. There's a point that comes before it, so hopefully, if this video doesn't cut out, I can read this one. All right, so there's a point that comes before the one I'm afraid of. Kept the Jake and Nate discuss. All right, so like there's another deleted scene is like is like it was titled like Nate and Jake discuss Jake's return to the PBDC, or like the camera like where they walk through the hallway and they discuss his return. It's not long, but I feel like that definitely would have added more to like their tension between the two before they become friends once again. It's like it would have taken place like before the sprinkle scene. My brain just died out on me. Sorry, because like they had that like I guess like they had that one in as a placeholder until like they figured out like a different another scene, which was the sprinkle scene. It's like they took this one out and added in the sprinkle scene. But I mean, I like the break sprinkle scene as I said before, so like I would have also kept this scene in as well, which I think would have been really good. Like add a little more like tension between the two, between the between the bromance. That was great. Oh, they are great. It was a great bromance little going on there. I liked it. All right, 42-minute mark. Things are still going old. And let me see something real quick. All right, so I think things are still good now. Still going good. All right, this is a long one, so be prepared because I wrote this one. I wrote this like I don't remember if I wrote it before I recorded the first video or after. I don't remember. But basically, I had a whole plot instead idea, like what they could have done instead for like a story of what instead of what we got. So instead of having the PBDC invest in more Jaegers and in an academy for teenage pilots, have the world basically like fully believe that the kaiju will never return, and finally like do what they originally were like do like what the governors or like the presidents in the first film were gonna do and like decommission the Jaegers. It's like they would have fully believed like that like hey they finally won and the kaiju are never returning. Like have that little mindset. It's like where they decommission everything. The whole PBDC is like done for because like hey they're gone, kaiju's are gone, we won, world peace. So like basically like have that as a setting of the world. All right, but also like having like all right, so like the next part of it is like Dr. Herman Gottlieb, you know, believing like maybe like he could be like because there's always that one person that's gonna believe like hey we're not done yet, they're gonna return one day, like have Herman be the one believing that like this fight still ain't over, so like he's trying to fight to keep the thing going, and like maybe Mako as well, like being like the ones like trying to keep the thing going. So like they could still do the mystery plot with like Mako's death, since like they weren't going to bring back the other characters of the original cast, you know. But instead of having like the whole mystery plot kick off with Mako's death, instead have it with Charlie Hunnam's character, which I forgot his name of. Sorry, I forgot his name, but you know, have it kick off with his death. Like because like since he wasn't going to return for the film, like I know like some fans like don't like it when they kill off characters of the previous film off screen, but since he wasn't going to return, like it probably would be like the only viable option. Like have it. kick off as like a murder, have his death be like kick off the murder mystery of the film. Basically, like being a twist of like Newton, since like they had him planned as the twist villain. This one have him like being like the one that's killing off all the old cast. You know, he's killing off the old like he would be the one that kills off the old cast, believing like that they would be the only ones. That's gonna drive me nuts. Believing that they would be the only ones that would stand a chance at stopping him from bringing the precursors back to our world. You know, it's like have like Mako's death later on in the film as well. Have it like later on, like early, maybe early, mid, some way halfway through. But like have it like kick off with Charlie Hunnam's character's death. Riley. There we go. Riley. Have it kick off with Riley's death. You know, he knows. Um, how best to describe this? It's like you could still have the murder mystery plot, but start off with him, and then like Mako later on. You can still bring it, so like bring in a new cast as well. I don't know like how I would do it, but I guess that's what fan fiction is for, right? Little fan fiction AO3, blah blah blah. You know, like I'm not sure how to describe it, but like, you know, if you get what I mean, hopefully I hope that you do. Oh, we're still going strong with the recording. Heck yeah. Like have that. Right. Well, probably just like move on to the next point because, I don't know how better to explain my idea and like how I would like do like a whole different plot instead of what we got, you know? So like the PPDC acting as like the new police force, like new task force, trying to keep people from creating their own Jaegers. You know. All right, so we are into the final category of things I was not expecting. This one I was not expecting it because it was like and also like in a deleted scene that would have been early into the film, like the party scene, like where Jake is seen partying, like throwing parties and such. Apparently, James Gunn was gonna have a cameo in the film. He had a cameo where he was the DJ of that party. It's like as soon as I saw it, like because I watched the lead scenes, it's like holy fudge, he was gonna be in it. It's like holy fudge, he's in it. Let's go. But apparently, like they cut it out for some reason, even though it wouldn't have added much other than like a simple cameo. That was really cool. I did not see that coming. I did not expect to see James Gunn in the film, or at least like he was involved in it in some way. So like he would have had an acting role. That would have been really cool. All right, something I was not expecting, which I've explained before. Director Stephen D. Knight originally wanted to remove the Newton and Alice scene, the sequence. Like he fought to remove it. He fought like he wanted because Guillermo del Toro wanted to keep it in, and he originally fought to remove it because he was afraid that it was gonna tip everyone off if they hadn't already figured it out. Like, tip everyone off that like he was gonna be the twist villain, which I was not expecting. Like, the director actually agrees. The director actually agrees that like, hey, this seems a little weird and like it would tip everyone off because as soon as that scene appeared in the film, like I knew what was coming. I knew that he was gonna be a twist villain. So going through like the director commentary in both the deleted scenes and the film itself, I got an itchy nose. Seeing that, like hearing that, she had like props for that. It's like he's cool. That was cool. That was a really cool thing. It's like was not expecting. So like we actually had middle ground. So like there was actually a middle ground between me, the audience, and the director. That was neat. But as like in the end, as you can see from the film, if you remember it, or if you've seen it, or if you pretend it doesn't exist, which I don't blame you. I pretend it doesn't exist as well. It's that was a horrible film. That was something I wasn't expecting. All right. Another thing, like which I guess was like a little hidden detail, was like so like basically like the actual twist scene as well, like where Newton reveals that like, hey, he's been infected with the precursors and he's like working for them or he's like under their control. It's like when he's inputting the code to basically activate to basically shut out Shao from from ever activate. Brain, I need you to work with me. So many like you know the scene I'm talking about. So like he's inputting the code, and then like next thing you know, like the screens are all covered in like this weird like this weird wavy look, this weird wavy thing that's covering all the screens. The code that he inputted, I guess, is like a nod to Alien, is like to the first Alien film that was like directed by Ridley Scott, to Ridley Scott's Alien. The code being like Lima Victor 426, which I would never have noticed because little details like I would never have noticed that little thing. But like a fun little nod to that film, which like okay, uh, okay, I see ya, I see you now, I see what you're doing. That's neat, cool, cool. You know, and onto the final thing, the final thought of this video, like what I thought about this film. You know, my review of my thoughts. Kaylee Spaney, who played Amara, the one that piloted the Scrapper, and in the end co-piloted Gypsy Avenger along Jake, who like went because like she had to take over Nate's position when he got injured. When he got injured after like the Mega Kaiju basically stabbed a hole into Gypsy Avenger's head, basically nicking Nate on the side. You know, like it nipped Nate on the side, and he was injured. So he was struggling to pilot Gypsy Avenger alongside Jake, who was trying to push it to the limits, like, and you can see like blood coming out of his nose. So, so back to Kaylee Spaney. Something I wasn't expecting. Like this was like her first major role, like her first major role. Because I did a little research and it looks like she like did a couple of short films like before, but like this was her first major role. Unfortunately, the film didn't pan out so well, so like it didn't go into like a breakout role. I think. I don't know if I've seen her in anything else if I don't remember, but you know, saying that was like, oh, that's neat. She gets to her like her first major role in a Pacific Rim universe, like that was really cool. Like to have that like happen to you, be like it'll be hard not to be ecstatic, not to be excited. You know, it'd be hard because that would be like really cool. Like you get your first role being in the Pacific Rim universe. That would be awesome. Even if like the film didn't pan out, like it's still cool. It was like, ow, my knee. That was my knee. The shaking was part of my knee hitting my desk. So yeah, that's basically all I have to this. Basically, basically that was my entire list that I just went through. So hopefully in the next future, like in the future, like when I do like another films, which I'm thinking of, I'm thinking of maybe doing 2001, like Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey. I'm thinking of having that be my next one because like I just watched that like recently, like a couple months ago, I think, like a month or two ago. It was so good, especially for the time. It was so good because it was like 1968. It's like it was so good, so way ahead of its time back then. But I'll save that like for another video, next one, maybe the next one, if you guys want to see that. But if you also like want to suggest like your own movies or shows, maybe a book or whatever, like what you want me to review, just let me know down in the comments and I will look into it. I will see what I think about it and I will maybe make a video. I get thought of something that it goes back to like the CGI and the VFX points. It goes back to that. Like the helmets. Something I didn't realize is like upon like the viewings until like I noticed in the director commentary when he pointed it out when Stephen D. Knight pointed it out. The visors. They're no longer like a glassy plastic look to it. Instead it's like almost like an energy field. It's like you don't see it there. Like you think it just looks like it's just like a helmet without without the mat like the masky visor glass thingy. But like there's like you don't see it until like debris comes flying at their face and like it activates. And it's like zoop, zoop, zoop. I didn't notice that little detail. That was cool. Like that was really cool. Like a way to upgrade the masks, the helmets. That was cool. I like that. Another thing that goes with it, like holograms. Like the holograms in this film were very neat. It was very cool. Are there any other points that I want to say, or is that it? Okay, I'm thinking of like one like so basically when Newton and Shao are discussing, like they're talking. They're talking like in her factory. It's like when she storms off or like something like that. And he's like threatening to take one of the employees' jobs like away, like it goes up. It goes up and like his the camera's like facing him, like and then like it pulls out as like a wall opens up. Or it's like opens up like to a glass wall behind it, and the camera pulls out. Like it just goes like like giving like a whole wide view that like, hey, they're not just like in like a little office in the building. They're in a factory. As like the drones are being built all around them. There's like yin, yin, yin of drones. There's like lines of them, columns. I think columns, no. Columns go up. Rows. There's like rows of Jaeger drones being built. Okay, so I think the scene is like when they were testing out like the drone pilot, like the guy who's going to be testing the drone, the guy who's going to be piloting the drones remotely from like the lab. I think that's when the scene is like a better of like what I was discussing, like where like Newton and Shao were in. Not my best, so but you know, I guess for now that is it. That will be it for now. Wow, an hour in and like this thing's still going. This stuff works. It worked. So hopefully that will help fix better. You know, make I can do better videos. I feel like I need to like do like a little pixely like if you guys know any like softwares or hardwares or whatever I can use to help make better, so I can record better. Because I would love for this to be like a thing that I do that I can help like bring in extra money, you know, help bring in like extra money so like I don't have to worry like too much. As that I don't know if that made sense, but anyways, so yeah, if you liked it, let me know. If not, a little sad, but you know, if you did, my heart, you know, thank you for checking in on this video and sticking with me, my boring review. You know, sticking with me throughout the first part and the second one, and this one now that I'm going to be releasing soon. You know, so hopefully you liked it. You know, like and subscribe. I'm not built for this. I'm not good at this. Uh, thank you, Brain, for working with me. But yeah, so thank you for just sticking with me. You know, because my mom like told me like one of my mom's advice was like, hey, to like get you guys to like definitely like watch me alongside others who also like do reviews, like trying basically like to get you guys to like want to stick on me as well, like try and make myself out also like stand out like enough to like where you want to watch me as well. Like her advice was like to give like something like unique, like find a way to make myself, you know. I forgot like how she worded it. I forgot like what her full advice was. I'm gonna have to ask her again, but you know. And I lost my train of thoughts. Brain. I am working on regrowing my hair out because I don't like it as short as it. I like it long, like maybe like go something down here or something like that, you know, something like that. But anything else I want to say? Yeah, speaking of mom, once again, like shout out to you. Thank you for inspiring this. Without you, I would never have thought of this. So thank you. I love you. And yeah, probably just cut the video here. So yeah, if you want more, just let me know. If you want me, because I'm thinking of doing um 2001: The Space Odyssey next. So if you want to see that, just let me know. I'll probably still do it anyways, even if you don't let me know. But just because like I like the stuff, I like movies, I like TV shows. I love storytelling. It's amazing. It's one of my favorites. It's a passion of mine. Yeah, you know. Let me know if you want to see more. Excuse me, just burped. Oh, I knew. Oh! I just remembered something that I don't know if I can take seriously or not. But it's like after like the mega kaiju is formed, like when those little spider things, those little creature crawlies, come in and combine the three kaiju into one mega kaiju. Like the moment that thing comes alive and it's like, whoa, it just does a roar as the camera pulls out like very fast down the street. Like you can see like the little waves of the breath or something. as like cars go flying and such. I'm not gonna lie, I know it's supposed to be like a roar, like an intimidating roar, but to me, it just comes off as like the creature just belching. Like it's like the first thing it does when it like reawakens is like it just lets out one heck of a belch. Like it just downed an entire can of Monster. That'd be a really big can for that thing. That kaiju is huge. That thing would be that would be one massive can. That can alone would put a human to sleep permanently. Because if you try to drink that giant can, that skyscraper sized can, if you try to drink that, I don't even think you'll make 1%. Because your heart would explode from how fast it'd be like, like, yeah, there goes heart. Another scene that I liked, like also involving like the camera as well, like when the thing is making its way down like a train yard, like it's train tracks or something, like very like a wide train yard. Thing's making its way down like a wide train yard, and it's Gypsy Danger comes from behind and just punches it, causing the creature to roll. And like the way the camera like follows like around, like it goes. I think if I remember correctly, it goes like around it. It's like they did that almost like a one shot, like in a one shot scene. That I like. That was really cool. I liked camera angles and movements, as you can tell. Like they really help emphasize like the scene or in a way, especially if you can pull off a one shot. Because like Avengers, like the Avenger movies, are definitely known for doing this, like one shot scenes that like almost like 1 minute long scenes, where like they try to film everything in one go, almost like kind of like that. Those scenes I like. They're really cool. Like if you can pull that off practically, you got my respect. Um, Man, I'm really bad at closing videos out because I just keep coming up with like new words, like new things of saying, like where I'm just repeating stuff, and it's like you guys are probably getting annoyed at me a bit, aren't you? I apologize. I One of my mom like suggestions was like try and find a way to better focus like something. This is probably like why it's good to like write a script like do these scripted. It's probably a good idea like to do these scripted, but I don't want that because I might think of something later when I am that I didn't think of like at the time I was writing the script. You know, I might think of something different to say. No, I am not sponsored by Monster. That'll be really cool. Hit me up because I love Monster cans. I love Monster. It's a really great energy drink, even though I should cut down on it because like the acidic parts will eat away at my teeth. Something funny I think is really funny is like my dentist when I went to go like my last appointment, which was a while ago. But my dentist asked if I do a lot of energy drinks, and yeah, I did because I'm gonna need to like, get some more like caps, like things, like because like once I said like yes, like yeah, I do a lot of energy drinks, and like said like I'll probably have to. I told him that like because I'll probably have to like cut down a lot or like try and quit it. They said like not necessarily. This is like only paraphrasing, so it's not actually what they said because I don't remember exactly how it was worded. But it said like that I didn't have to stop, but their advice like hug it, go like like hug it. So like don't like just let it like sit in the mouth like to where you swish it around. They said like chug it. So like the acidic part of the drink doesn't just sit in your mouth and like rot eat your teeth away. Like just chug it down so it just goes straight down. just tug it. I found that so funny. It's like, wait, did my dentist just encourage me to drink it more? But like in a different way, but not like in a way of like, just drink more. Well, here I am, keeping my dentist employed. I'm gonna lose all my teeth, aren't I? I can't help it. I'm addicted. These things are so good. Monster is so good. Monster, Red Bull, C4, Ghost, and maybe some others, but I love this stuff. It's so good. It is so good. You know, you can see my knee. You cannot see my knee. You can see my knee. You cannot see my knee. I am so easily distracted. I need to fix that at some point, eventually, when I stop procrastinating. But yeah, I guess it's now probably time to close out the video because I'm gonna drag this out. But yeah, thank you for checking me out and sticking with me, sticking with my annoyingness. But yeah, like and subscribe for more videos that will take centuries to produce because I don't know what I'm doing. I need to learn technology. I need to learn how to do this. Yeah, thank you for coming, and I hope you have a lovely life. Lovely year, week. Hopefully things get better, and I'll see you soon in another video. Bye. And scene.